Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by, thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now, I've constantly spoke about the black community, I constantly spoke about the ills, I spoke about the good stuff also throughout all my videos that I've posted on YouTube. And you know, a lot of it didn't sit well with a lot of persons. They didn't like the harsh reality. A lot of times people don't share the same opinion as I do when it is an opinionated conversation. However, the truth will out, and unfortunately there are way too much negatives that are in the black community that people keep walking past and making pass by. There's a situation that I need to speak on currently. I remember speaking with someone, right? That person confided in me, and I will not speak on their name. I won't speak on anything, you know, giving out their identification or such. Now, that person was telling me about a situation wherein when he was a young boy, he had his aunt. His aunt was a principal at a prominent school. Not going to speak on the parish or wherever it was, but his aunt was a principal at a very prominent school. And when he was 9 years old, his aunt had sex with him. His aunt had sex with him when he was 9 years old, you know, and she would tell him to come on top of him and to do this, do that, and the third. And I said to him, so she wasn't conscious or considering that she possibly had an infection she could pass on to a child or anything like that. And, you know, in speaking about the situation, he wasn't happy when he talked about it. He wasn't happy. He wasn't in a great mood or find anything funny about it. And this is a full-grown adult male who was speaking about his situation, his ordeal at the time. I remember another gentleman I spoke with, and he said that when he was 10 years old, he used to have sex with his mother's friends, plural, friends, at the age of 10. Because they came to the house and they used to saw him bathing outside, you know, with a hose and stuff like that. And they said that, you know, his private area was very large. And so when his mother used to send him to shop, they would stop him. And, you know, this was what they wanted him to do to them as a child. And these are very disastrous situations. There's nothing great about the situation. A lot of these men have turned out into predators. A lot of these men have also turned out preying on other persons out there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a child. It can also be adults, whether it be male or female or male. It does happen where the hunted becomes the hunter, and the person who was prey upon becomes the predator. These things does happen, and they always say when you check the background of all persons who are molesters or persons who are pedophile or persons who are sex offenders, when you check their history, these are persons who were actually sexually assaulted when they were young. Not in all cases, but a lot of times it do happen. Now, did I not speak about the deplorable behavior in the black community where a lot of things are promoted, a lot of things are celebrated? Here we have dancer dyema, or former dancer, I don't know if she still dances, but whatever the case may be, dyema, who was on Jay Frey's show, and she was being interviewed, and she spoke about her situation, how she had sex with a 15-year-old boy. He came to the club. She didn't know that he was a child because he was always there. He lied and told her that he was 25 years old. She believed him. She took his word for it. She was arrested. The mother had her arrested for having sex with her son. The guy went to a prominent school, high school, in Montego Bay, and it made the news and whatever. She had to report at the station. She's speaking on these type of things, you understand? And so they threw it out because they're saying that, you know, she didn't know, whatever the case may be. I strongly believe that the judge was lenient based on the fact that she's a woman. Had it been a man, it would have never ended with that scenario unless he had lots of money to afford himself one of the most premium lawyers or attorneys in Jamaica. Now, when we listen to the situation, dyema have a tendency to promoting about young street and liking young boys and all of these type of things. And she was, you know, talking about she didn't care, you know, she looked young, he this, he that, and she likes it. But you are also giving us a lot of information about yourself, and you're also giving us a lot of ammunition. First and foremost, you're in a situation currently wherein you ended a relationship with a young man by the name of Willie that went on in the media that you spoke about, and you not knowing his name, and you're complaining that people, you know, attack you about it for not knowing his name and stuff. You have a history of having sex with people or getting intimate with people that you know absolutely nothing about. The most important things that you used to know. So therefore means that you're living a reckless life. you're a reckless individual. Because clearly, if you're at the club, why would the young man tell you his age? He told you his age because he looked rather young. It's your duty to, when you meet someone, to ask for their identification. I've dated a lot of guys, and when I date them, they say to me, I am the first woman they have ever met that have asked them for their identification. A lot of guys I've dated, and they have said it to me. I'm the first female that they have ever dated that have asked them for their identification. These things are important things that you people should know. Women in the black community, these things are very important for you to know. Reckless sex is not cool. And you ostracize men and come after men, attacking them and badger them for living the life of whoredom, for sleeping around. But women are known to do the same thing. That's why it's just a never-ending story, because women are guilty of a lot of things that they aren't speaking of. They like to hold men to the fire, but when you check it out, they are living the same life or worse. They just don't really speak about it. But you realize dyema speaking, and she's unraveling before our very eyes and talking about her situation with a young man. You ask him his age because you knew he looked pretty young. Now, upon him saying that he's 25, you could have asked for his identification, and apparently you didn't, because you would have said that you did, whatever you would have, and then it was a fake ID or something, then you would have had an argument. But people can just come and tell you an age and you just run with it, especially someone that you're planning to get intimate with. These are vital information for you to know, like the person name, the person age, their address, you understand? A lot of these type of things. You are getting intimate with someone, these are things that you need to know. I remember someone was trying to give me a backhanded compliment, saying that I'm acting like I'm more woman than anybody else. Yes, I'm more mother effing woman than you out there, because I'm not living the same life that you are living. I might not be rich, and I do not want riches that come by any means either. So clearly I will be more woman than you, because I'm not doing the stupid things that you guys are doing. I'm being proud of it. Back to the argument. You have a history of not knowing vital information about people that you're planning to get intimate with. This is a young man. It's not a story that you should be proud of. The young man, whether you like it or not, has that trauma to live with. Yes, he might celebrate a situation, but when you check out a lot of these people, adult life, like I say, they become very abusive to their partner. They abuse children also, because they have that to live with, knowing that what they actually went through was a form of manipulation. It looks good because sex is involved, and this is a black community. Once sex or penile penetration into the vaginal cavity is involved, it's something funny, it's something humorous, it's something great. But when you look into it, it's rather nasty, it's uncool, it's immoral, and it's a wicked act. You don't go onto children. A 15-year-old boy might like it. He doesn't know better. You do. Because when he gets older, whether it be a male or a female, when he gets older, he has that to live with. And it's upon that time, he will realize that he was actually being manipulated. So there's nothing cool about it. This is why a lot of these people prey on kids, because they know what they are doing. They know what they're doing. I saw someone made a comment and say that witches use children because they want to keep their youth and stuff like that. I also see dyema frolicking around the argument that she's young and she's this and she looks young, she don't like guys older than her, whatever. It's okay to date someone younger than you. It's simply not okay to sleep with a child. That's the difference. You can like a young man, not a young boy. A young boy is a child. You understand? And if you think that's cool, what's the difference if he was actually 12 years old? If he was 12 years old and he told you that he was 25. You understand me? If you are talking, and I've said this so many times, if you are talking to a 14, 15-year-old for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, going on to 20 minutes, and they tell you that they're 25 years old, and you are still convinced that that 15-year-old is 25, you should be arrested, because it therefore means that you cannot tell a child from an adult. A 15-year-old speaking to them for 20, 25 minutes going on, they do not sound like a 25 years old. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's the harsh truth. A 15-year-old does not speak that way. There are certain things that you are required to get there in order to communicate as such. And that's just the truth. So if you are doing these things and you're taking word that a guy is 25 when they're actually 15, 14, 13, 16 years old, then you should be arrested. You should be arrested, because a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old is going to tell you the same thing and you're going to believe it and say, oh, they told me that they were 25, so I'm just going to work with that argument. You understand? And someone had said, I think Reedy had said that if this was Jaden or if this was Word Dog, you guys would never shut up about it. Remember when Jaden run the joke about the 12 years old? You all wanted to cancel him, take him down. Remember when Tiki run the joke about the baby? You all wanted to take him down. What's the difference in this scenario? Because once again, the hypocrisy of the black community. Once it's someone you like, it's okay. But once it's someone you do not like, let's get out the harpoons and take them down. But in this case, you are like Dyema. You like the loud, vulgar, nasty behavior that she tends to portray and the things that she sees on social media. So you all run with it. This is like the third video, I think. The first video that I did on Dyema was speaking on the situation with her mother. And I was very empathetic towards the situation, whether it be her or her mother. Because I firsthand know what it's like to have, you know, a toxic or dysfunctional relations with parents. And so I'm better able to see the situation often, being as I've overcome that bridge and I'm not still in that form of discrepancy. I've overcome it. I'm better able to understand and see where things can go if both persons change course. The second video I did was when the lady spoke about her BBL and she's cheating it and devaluing BBL, that you risk your life to in order to be seen as more attractive and stuff like that. You are devaluing it based on the way you speak. And I kind of agree with what she was saying. I did the entire video. Now this is the third video I think I'm doing on her. And you know, it's just getting worse. It's not getting any better. Now you see that when people speak on you, people, you don't like it, and you quick to tell people, suck your mother, this, dive up under your mother, this and that. And those mean absolutely nothing right now. You understand me? It's new science. It means nothing. You understand? Stupidity at its finest. And you like to speak about your youth and looking young and looking this, and you look great and you don't look your age. A lot of us do not look our age. I'm 40 years old. A lot of us do not look our age. You don't see me running around chasing a young boy, chasing a schoolboy, chasing a child. At that matter, at that, you know, you don't see me doing these type of things, basically. And there are lots of women out there who look pretty young and they're not living that life. They might like a younger man, but that doesn't mean that they'll be proud. Even if you pass that stage, you don't see persons running around saying, oh yeah, this, that, schoolboys have come to me, have whistled at me. And I'm not entertaining them, because there's nothing funny about corrupting the young. There is nothing funny about it. You look your age in your face also. You do look your age in your face. You might have a very healthy or firm body. I'm not sure if it's healthy, but I know you have a firm body, which makes you look quite young. And that's great. Kudos to you. But you do look your age in your face, or even a bit older. But that's another story for another day. You need to give it a rest. You need to stop it. There's nothing cool about pedophilia. There's nothing great about it. People do not play around. See, they accuse RT Boss of something similar, and it leads to RT filing a lawsuit against dancehall artist Spice. Whether you guys like it or not, I believe it's comical. He did in fact file a lawsuit against her. Pedophilia is not something to play around with. It's not something to joke about. It's not something that is funny. Come on. And you're saying that it's something that I always say. For you at your age 44, you're saying that you always say. You're actually proud of it. Which means that we live in a shameless society where people are proud of the most vile, nasty, and evil things. The most decrepit, despicable things and behavior. People are proud of it. And you lies a man who has to tell you that, yeah, you are wrong and you need to stop. If you're always saying it, please stop. Because even if they can't point you to a child now, you can still be held liable. You understand me? So you have to be careful of what you are saying. Because people will stick it to you. Once you're in the company of a child, people are going to start to think something of you. So like I said, you might not be guilty of something now or accused of anything now. But once a person sees you in the company of a child, they will start to think something else that you might not like. It will not end well for you. There are lots of people who do not play around. There are people who hunt pedophiles. There are people who hunt people who live this type of life, whether it be man or woman. This ain't no playground. This is not something to joke about or talk about, yeah. And so me always say me like young street, and me always say me like, yeah, it's good to like young street. It's good to like young men. You understand me? But liking a young boy, come on. You are playing the game of a manipulator and a pedophile. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to go that route. And thinking it is okay is just showing the low life behavior of the black community that is always being celebrated. And you are the people who want people to defend you. You want to be protected. Protected by who? Protected from what? From your own goddamn self? I'm talking about you're bad and you're from this community and your mouth is not louder than anyone else. You're not better than anybody else. None of you, the greatest of gunmen in Jamaica, is not more powerful than law enforcement officers or a politician. None of you. You can be as bad as this and that. None of you. Because none of you can make an arrest. None of you. And if there's a shootout, none of you can call for backup. None of you can do it. So you need to put that bad man behavior behind supporting nastiness to rest. You need to get with it and get your act together and realize that you are in error. You can apologize and you can move on. You can seek to understand that what you're saying is very destructive. It's very destructive and it's not wholesome. And I don't understand how people are making excuses and saying that she was joking. Did you guys, clearly you didn't see the interview. Neither did you read about the case. She literally went for a child. She literally went for a child. Child telling her she's an adult. She didn't fact check. And then she's saying that it's okay what the mother going to do about it and all these type of things. You're disrespectful. What the mother going to do? Remember, you're still alive. And the mother is still alive. And not everybody, not because they don't do anything now, means that they won't. This is not a game we're playing out here. I had a male friend once, a male associate, not a friend. And he said something to me about my daughter. And I stopped communicating with him and he was, wondering why I was upset. I said, listen, you said something to me about my daughter that didn't sit well with me. And before I commit murder, let me avoid you. Because this can go where it's not supposed to. This can go where it's not supposed to. And I'm not the type of person who carries remorse. You understand? I believe in revenge and I'm not the type of person who carries remorse. So you have to be careful. So let me just leave you. You stay where you are and I stay where I am at. It's just that serious. So not everybody play the game that you think you play when it comes to their children. Or maybe because you're not a mother, certain destructive things just and reckless things that you say rolls off the tongue very easily. So you don't have any form of remorse or respect when it comes to other people's children. You understand? You can just destroy them, manipulate them, and turn them out. And it's, a great day. Let's, young street, this, that, and the third. You bitch slap the F with stupidity. That's what it is. This ain't no joke. There's nothing funny about it. And it's time the black community hold the women accountable just as men. There are so many men out there who are sexually molested at the age of a child. And they don't speak about it. When they get older, they live with it and they express the trauma onto other persons. They do it to women. A lot of them do not like women. They abuse women because of the trauma, the unhealed trauma that they are going through. A lot of women out there decide to turn them out, decide to destroy the life or the innocence of kids and believe it's okay. But the society only hold men to the flame and not women. And these are things that we have to speak on. But that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day and may God bless you. Bye-bye.